going on, Falcon fan? This your boy Ricondo coming back at you with quick Atlanta Falcon news. So today's guys, if you have not already, go ahead and please subscribe to the channel. Please hit the notification bell so you know when I drop another video. Please hit the like button so I know you guys out here that I talk about. Then please share my video throughout the YouTube universe so more people can come in and hear me talk about these Atlanta Falcons. So, like I said, guys, quick news today. The Atlanta Falcons have made another roster move. This is on the practice squad, of course. However, with the injury to Damian Williams, not sure about his status for this game. The Falcons have brought in BJ Baylor, undrafted free agent, who was with the Green Bay Packers, and now he's on the Atlanta Falcons practice squad. Baylor actually played last year, like I said, with Oregon State. 1,259 yards, 13 TDs. Pretty much where he got most of his work done in that last season with Oregon State. About 5'10", about 202 pounds. So Baylor has the size and the ability. And like I said, it's just insurance to bring another running back in since Damian Williams might be out this week. We could see definitely Tyler Algier being moved up to the active roster, and maybe even Caleb Huntley. We just have to see what they decide to do with that. But bringing Baylor in, we know that the Falcons keep finding talent. I love their front office, the way they go out and actually find guys to come in and compete and try to somebody that maybe be able to can help this team in the future. Baylor looks like he's explosive. I like his size. Like he's good, gonna be good in the zone style running game. So this is something definitely that is a good pickup for us. What's interesting, which I found out, of course, our practice squad was full. So um, the Seattle Seahawks actually poached Tease Tabor off our practice squad and picked him up on their roster spot. So that's why we had an open spot on the roster. That was interesting. It's something that I was not aware of, but I find that out because I was wondering, bringing Baylor in, who they was going to actually have to take off the practice squad. And lo and behold, the Seattle Seahawks actually poached one of our guys out the practice squad, which is Tease Tabor. Somebody, who was in battle with D. Alford and Mike Ford for the after roster spot, right? So that is something that was very interesting to see. But like I said, no surprises because we know guys on the practice squad, they're not really safe. I think right now they can have some guys and protect those guys. Some guys on the roster, on the practice squad, during the week to try to keep those guys because somebody they might want to bring up on the active roster like they did Anthony Frisker and last week's game. So you have to think about things like that. But when you're in a practice squad, it's good to let these guys get on the active roster, and that's good for Tease Tabor. We actually will be seeing him the next week's game now that he's with the Seattle Seahawks. So once again, the Atlanta Falcons actually picked up um, running back Baylor from Oregon State, and we lost Tease Tabor to the Seattle Seahawks, and they brought him on their active roster. All right, guys. Also today, we actually heard from the coaches, the coordinators, the defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator, and the special teams coach. Um, I was waiting all week to hear Dean Peach get his press conference to see what we thought we saw in the game on Sunday is what we saw. And according to Dean Pease, and like I said, all the reports that I've been hearing, he did not let up on Sunday. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing because the way it looked in that fourth quarter, we couldn't stop those guys. It seemed like they let up, but according to Dean Pease, they did not. That's one of the things he said they discussed going into the fourth quarter that they was not gonna let take their foot off the pedal. They was gonna stay on it, stay aggressive, and he actually even said during that game his pressure rate was like at 51%. So um, that's like I said, the way it looked to me, it looked so much different. He did admit that there was some missed assignments, and the way he rotated his defensive line, the hurry of offense, all these factor in. And then at the end of the day, like I said on Sunday, when I gave the Saints, their props, the way they played in that fourth quarter. Sometimes good offense, sometimes beat good defense. So even though we didn't like it, and I actually thought I still to this day I can look back and see like those guys lit up, but um, to his defense, he said that they did not let up. They stayed aggressive. I mean, guys just didn't make the plays that they need to make, which boils down to something that we heard from Grady Jarrett today. We in the end of the game on Sunday was the fact that they have to finish, right. They have to start going in and they have to finish the game. So if they stayed aggressive and they didn't take their foot off the gas and they kept trying to get after Jameis Winston, and we was not able to get the job done. They need to make sure they go to the lab and identify those mistakes. Um, he mentioned they stayed aggressive. The pressures was there. They just could not actually capitalize on some of the things that worked for them in the first three quarters. It did not work in the fourth quarter. So go back to the drawing board, fix some of those assignments, um, and let's figure out, how to get better. That's all we can ask for these guys. But going back and looking at it now, it does make me feel a little bit better that they didn't go in and just have a brain fart and decide to go and prevent defense and try to actually think that they was going to be able to stop in that way. The idea that they tried to stay aggressive, just had missed assignments. Hey, sometimes the other team just beat you. If that's what the case was, I still don't like it, but I guess I can live with it. So I love to hear from Dean Pease and his explanation on that. He said he wasn't mad, he was disappointed, just like all of us, because those first three quarters looked like a whole different team to us. We was all excited, we was all fired up, but in the end of the day, a little deja vu happened and kind of looked like we blew another big lead in the fourth quarter. So that's all we have for Dean Pease. We also heard from Dave Ragone today, offensive coordinator. He emphasized the most important thing is to make sure that we're going to actually work to our strengths. We're going to look at the Rams defense, understand what they do well in their zones and their man demands, and we try to utilize our strengths, our skill players, put them in the best positions to play their game. We know now they got a film gonna try to stop our running game, try to stop our read part option. So we got to make sure that we get our game plan correct, utilize some of the weapons that we didn't show last week, like a Kyle Pitts, like a Brian Edwards, things that I mentioned in my keys yesterday. So things like that. Make sure we get Tyler Algier on the after roster where we can have another big body back there to run the ball. And so from an offensive standpoint, we know these guys are going to come out and play. And Ragone mentioned something which is definitely true. The game was tied on Thursday night between those two teams, so the score looked like it looked. They actually got outplayed in the second half, but going into halftime, those two teams were tied. So maybe it wasn't as bad as we kind of thought. The Rams did some of the things that they always do, but of course they got exposed in some areas too. And hopefully, Atlanta Falcons can take advantage of some of those things on the defensive side of the ball, on the offensive side of the ball. And on the defensive side of the ball, of course, hopefully we can, do some of the same things the Bills did, like get 7 sacks, right? If we can get another 4, get another 3 sacks this week on Matthew Stafford, that will also be something good. Last but not least, we heard from Marquise Williams as well on the special teams. He felt like all those guys executed well. Felt like Avery Williams on the punt returns was able to catch the ball, get up the field, try to get positive yards. And beside that, all those plays on the return is the first play of offense. So the most yards you get, it counts as first down for this offensive team. So that's the good way to look at it. Every play counts. We always talk about special team, especially me. I think it's a very important part of the game. He talked about that field goal that Koo tried to attempt 63 yards. He said he have seen him make that, in games before. So I mean, in practice before. So hey, maybe if when they got the block, we could be talking about a different outcome in that game. However, Saints did get their hands up. You know, field goal that long, a little bit lower trajectory on the ball, so they was able to get a good tip on it. That's all it is, guys. So I like what I heard from the coaches today. These guys are getting ready for a good, hard fought battle between the Los Angeles Rams at 4:05 Eastern on in Los Angeles this Sunday. Those guys want to get back on track. We want to get back on track. I think it's going to be a hard fought game. Real interesting to see how the Atlanta Falcons come up against the Los Angeles Rams, the defending Super Bowl champs, after coming off a loss in Week 1. Guys, let me know what you think about Dean Pease, what he had to say, Dave Ragon, Marquise Williams, and how you seen if we can correct some of those mistakes that we had in the fourth quarter. And this is your boy Ricondo coming back at you with another video. Peace.